This Friday, September 9th, is Fetal Alcohol Syndrome Awareness Day. What does that mean? What is the significance of this day? To get the answers, I'm now joined by our good friend, Eileen Panzarella. Eileen is Prevention Director at Pathway to Recovery, Counseling and Education Services in downtown Hazleton. Eileen, thank you so much for joining us. What exactly is fetal alcohol syndrome?
Well, thank you, Lisa, for having me on today to talk about this. And so fetal alcohol syndrome spectrum, FASD, as we call it for short, is actually a lifelong disability that affects the brain, and it could also affect the body of someone who's exposed to alcohol in the womb. And this is the only cause of it, is somebody, exposing the fetus to alcohol while they're pregnant. And the physical effects, I actually have a baby to show you. We can see there's thin lips, and you could see how the eyes are also physically have a defect there, and that they also have smaller heads, and they're going to weigh less than they should at birth as well. And then over their lifespan, they're going to have heart and kidney issues, and that which are also going to affect them. But the CDC tells us that only about 15% of babies with FASD experience these physical defects. The other 85% actually have cognitive disabilities and behavioral issues. So we see speech and language delays, learning disabilities. They have a very short attention span, and we also see hyperactivity. And this is something that there's no cure for. You're going to deal with this for the lifetime of that person.
Wow. Is this something they test for? Like, is there a blood test or something that shows that you definitely have this, or is it unknown?
Yeah, it's really unknown. It might, if you have those telltale physical signs, but then it's more of the development of the child seeing, and then also looking back and saying, was alcohol consumed during that pregnancy? So if you're seeing some of these other issues and speech and language delays, a low IQ, learning disabilities, was alcohol used? And you don't have to be an alcoholic. This doesn't just happen, to alcoholics. It could, we really don't know. And somebody might say, well, my friend drank alcohol and their baby's fine. And that could be true, but that doesn't mean that's going to be true for you and your pregnancy and that. So it's really just knowledge, being aware that this is something that could happen. And we know, no mom wants to put their child at risk and do anything to harm their child. So a lot of people just need the knowledge that 9 months, no alcohol. And that's why we celebrate this, and well, not celebrate, but bring awareness to it on September 9th. The 9th month, the 9th day is, 9 months, no alcohol. That's what we're saying. So if you're, planning on getting pregnant, trying to get pregnant, don't drink alcohol. But we know that half of all pregnancies are really unplanned. And so people might be drinking alcohol. So as soon as you find out that you are pregnant, stop that drinking. And if your child is born with FASD, the earlier you could get intervention for that child, the better. And that to bring up, to help with those learning disabilities that might show up, the hyperactivity, those issues, we can do interventions early.
And have there been children that are helped and then show no signs of it later on in life? Or is it something that you're always going to have some kind of reminder of it?
Yeah, there's always going to be, this is a lifelong disability that they're going to have to work with. And it's just, just no alcohol and even when you compare like heroin use or cocaine use during pregnancy, of all the substances, the alcohol actually produces the most serious neurobehavioral effects in the fetus.
I always know you don't drink when you're pregnant, but I didn't realize how many people were impacted by those who did. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Again, this Friday is that day designated as Fetal Alcohol Syndrome Awareness Day. No amount of alcohol is worth it. No alcohol when you're pregnant, I guess, is the bottom line.